Hello everyone, this is Susan at Stampyland.com. I have a Tute-Tuesday for you today that is actually a couple different things I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk about a fun technique for using distress ink pads, but then I'm going to talk about kind of a lesser known line of stamps that we carry here at Stampyland, which is the American Crafts Stamps, which I've just really started to make myself use lately, and I'm discovering that I really like them because of something that I didn't know, but you'll have to stay tuned to see what that is. Alright, I want to show you a great background technique that I've been using a lot lately. It's kind of making your own background paper. And if you're trying to use up scraps of patterned paper and then make something to go with it, this is a great technique for doing some contrasting. Here I've used black background and then red. Obviously this is going to go to my Husker daughter very soon. But I want to show you this technique. It's super easy and a couple tricks will make it even faster for you. Here I've got 3 Tim Holtz Distress inks. This is Spun Sugar, Worn Lipstick, and Barn Door. So 3 different tones of the same red color. And I'm using a blending brush, and I always keep my ink pads, my applicators will always have 2 colors on them. So it's light medium and then medium dark, and you'll see why because I go back and forth and use them. I've got 2 strips ready right now, and I want to show you one of the tricks. This is a Teflon pad, and this is a Tim Holtz product also, and it's nothing can mar it, nothing will stain it, everything just kind of slides right off. But if you run your ATG or your adhesive and put it down and then stick your piece of paper down, it's not going to move while I'm working with it, and you're going to see something very cool at the end. Okay, I'm going to start here with the light side of my applicator, and this is how I do it. There's lots of different techniques for putting the distress inks on your paper. This is again just how I do it. I hold my fingers on the Teflon pad and I just kind of start scrubbing. I'm going to do 1/4 light, 1/4 dark, and kind of the middle half in the medium color, and then at the very end you'll see how it all kind of blends together. Okay, so here is my lightest color. Now I flip my pad over and use the medium color, and that's going to go here in the middle half. Didn't get very much there. Middle half is the medium. And just, again, it's almost like you're just scrubbing it into place. I like starting off the paper on the Teflon pad because it kind of gives you a distressed edge. The edge looks slightly darker than the middle. Kind of deposits the most ink there. Okay, now I'm going to use my darkest color red. Get some there. And I'm going to do that down here. The nice thing about these distress inks is because they're very sheer, you can layer them. Similar to Copics, the more you keep going over, you can build up that color and really adjust the tone. Okay, so now I basically have 3 colors, and you can see that very specific. Because I have a medium color on here, I'm going to go back. This is why I always keep 2 colors on my pads. So I'm going to go back, and then you just kind of blend over where the dark and the medium meet. Okay, and go back and get a little bit more dark. I think my goal is to get some more handles, because I would like to have a couple different handles that I can keep going back and forth between. But for right now I just keep peeling off the pads. It makes my fingers very red. Okay, so we're going to go back to the light. And again, just blend over that. You're just trying to marry those colors together so you don't have a very strong line of demarcation. And it's just like you're rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. And eventually you get a real nice blending. I'm just going to go over the whole thing. Buff up the edges a little bit. Okay, so now I have all 3 of my strips. Real nice demarcation. I mean, no demarcation. I went over all of them. So I think that they look very nice and similarly colored. You can always touch them up a little bit. Okay, so let's cover up my inks. Now, here comes the fun part. Okay, I'm going to put some paper. I have my regular A2 card folded. Try not to get red on anything. Get that. This is a regular A2 card, so my mat is 4 by 5 1/4. That's just some old scrap paper. It's ancient. Okay, now, because I had my adhesive on my Teflon pad, which makes all of those stick down, they're stuck, when you peel them off, the adhesive is on the paper. There's nothing on here. It sticks to the paper, and you peel it off. It's like sticking it to, you know, wax paper or parchment paper. And I think that's so fun. If you're ever doing some masking, some blending like this, use your tools to your advantage. Let them stick on the paper so they aren't moving around. And then it's like peeling up pre-adhesive paper. Alright, so here I am leaving a little bit of a margin, and I am doing the left and the right with the dark gradation at the top. And this one I'm going to flip around and do the light at the top. Alright, so there I've got kind of some custom background, all just from scraps of white paper from some invitations I was working on this morning. Okay, now I'm done with my Teflon and I'm done with my pads. Now I want to show you real quickly. Oh, I'm going to need that red one back here. I want to show you some of these American Crafts stamps. A couple things that I love about these. When I started opening them and playing with them, what I realized is, first of all, they come in a hard plastic case. Okay, you know, like they can hang on a hook. That's not just a baggie. And they open so that you can reuse them. So it makes it great for keeping dust off. They're secure, and you don't have to always slide them back in and out of the bag. So I like that. I really like that. What I noticed when I opened these are, okay, let's see, here's the image. I'll leave it here so you can see the image. Okay, the Enjoy the Journey, that's separate from the label die here. Okay, the Congratulations is separate from this bracketage image. They're all separate. So same thing over here. On this one, this is the one I used for my sample card. Same thing. This a little birdie told me right here in the center is separate from that big dark label. I love you, completely separate. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that those were all separate. So when you get in here, here's the Congratulations. This is the little tiny sentiment, and then there's that label. So you can either choose to use it or to not use it. I love that. I did not know that. So what you can do on the Stampyland website, I sent Danny an email to see if he could get those numbers added to the product description. But when you look at the American Crafts stamps, if you click on View Larger Image, you will see up in the corner, it'll say 16 clear stamps, or 8 clear stamps. It'll tell you exactly the number. And every one that I have in my possession right now, the sentiment is separate from the shape. So Mr. and Mrs. right there is separate from the oval. All right? Love it, love it, love it. It has totally expanded the use of these stamps, because so many times I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't fit in my shape because that's the wrong, you know, the wrong outline or the wrong shape. Well, I didn't realize until I really started opening them up and playing with them that the sentiment is separate. Oh, very exciting discovery this morning. Okay, so I always recommend that you stamp a couple times with your ink when you're using it the first time with clear stamps, because it tends to bead up a little bit. So do a couple test stamps just so that it gets kind of primed. And that one is crooked, so I'm going to line it up again. Alright, and then I'm going to use my darkest red, which was the barn door, and stamp that. And you know what? I want a bigger one. I want a bigger sentiment. I want a bigger sentiment. I have these pieces all cut, so that's going to go over here. I'm going to use this. Thank you. This is, again, I love that I can just peel that thanks off. Oh, so excited. All right, another trick sometimes that people will tell you, if it's a brand new stamp that's never been used, this one has not been used. The Congratulations I've used before. This one's brand new. Go over it with an eraser. It just gives that acrylic a little bit of tooth. It's like it roughs it up almost. I mean, not like sandpaper roughs, but it gives it a little bit of something to hang on to the ink. But then again, always do a couple test stamps. Okay, just stamping those out there. Make sure that the ink is going to get onto the new acrylic. All right, I'm going to grab a little strip here that I have ready. Stamping my thanks in the darkest of the 3 colors I used. There's that. Alright, I'm going to just snip this off to make it a little bit shorter. And kind of bridge the gap there. Now, of course, I need some bling on there. I need to put some bling on each side. Okay? But there. That is, like I said, I just kind of discovered this weekend that these American Craft Stamps, the sentiments are separate from the shapes. Total life-changing discovery there. And I'm going to say that right here. Life-changing. All right? American Craft Stamps. All of these are fabulous sets. All clear acrylic. I like that they come with the printed black image, and I like that they come in their own hard shell that is very easy to open, close, use, and reuse, and then store your stamps that way. So much easier to flip through and see what you have. But keep in mind that all of those sentiments are completely separate from each other. You can mix and match them, use other sets in there, use them separately, use them alone. Anything that you want. All right, all of these stamps, all of the American Craft Stamps, the complete line is at stampyland.com. The challenge is good up until tonight for the boy cards and all of the other products, the acrylic block, the distress ink, the Nina paper, all of that is available at our sister site, scrappyland.com. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at stampylandsusan@gmail.com. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in for a Tute-Tuesday, a day late on a Wednesday. We're going to call it a Wicked Wednesday. All right? Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.